Well, next week, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments in the case of Louisiana versus Calais. This first landmark case will decide if Louisiana's new congressional maps stand in line with the Voting Rights Act of 1965, specifically in Section 2 in regard to no race discrimination. It's a pivotal case that may reshape the role of race in redistricting with potential national consequences as non-black voters advocate for the removal of the second majority black district map in the Pelican State.
Really, at the base level, this case is an example of plaintiffs trying to strip black voters of a hard-fought victory in a congressional map that provides them with an equal voice.
A significant case will be brought up to the Supreme Court on March 24th and will determine the future of voting rights in America. According to U.S. Census data from 2020, the state's black population increased while its white population decreased. Civil rights attorneys, advocates, and community members then urged state lawmakers to make a new map that fully represented Louisiana voters in Congress.
So Louisiana has 6 congressional districts, so black voters, black legislators thought it was only fair that 2 or a third of the congressional districts are majority black as well.
In 2022, the state legislature then created a new map, but was forced to redraw after the map failed to provide fair representation to black voters in the Pelican State. Finally, in 2024, the legislature did pass a map with a second black majority district and satisfied Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act.
This is in a bit of a unique situation now because you have both black voters and Republican state officials defending this map. And now it is up to the Supreme Court to make a decision.
We feel that this satisfies that requirement under the Voting Rights Act and actually provides black Louisianians the opportunity to elect candidates of their choice at the congressional level in Louisiana.
Shortly thereafter, a group of non-African American voters led by Philip Calais filed a racial gerrymandering challenge to this new map.
Their claim was that race predominated in the drawing of this new district. We quickly intervened on behalf of those same plaintiffs we had represented in the Robinson litigation to defend the legislature's map, which satisfied Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act.
In May 2024, the Supreme Court granted an emergency stay in the case, which allowed for the 2024 map to be used in the November election. In that election, current Louisiana Congressman Cleo Fields won that election and currently sits in the new Congressional District 6.
It's important to remember that, racial gerrymandering is illegal, but partisan gerrymandering is not. So a big part of the state's case in this redistricting case is that their objectives were political.
All things the Supreme Court will now look into early next week.
It will be a clear rejection of baseless attempts to invalidate VRA-compliant districts, and it's an opportunity for the court to reaffirm its precedent and ensure that the voices of black voters, not only in Louisiana, but really across the country, are not diluted, and reaffirm this country's promise of a fair and democratic system.
The Supreme Court will hear arguments from both sides in the Louisiana versus Calais case on Monday, March 24th.